Alright, let's go, people. We recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hop right into it.
What's up? What's happening, y'all? Welcome to the Beat Conn podcast. This is episode number 6. I go by Kinetic Life. Right here, I have next to me
Staggers.
and we have a new guest today. We have
DJ and what?
DJ and what, man? What's up? What's happening, man? What's
Ain't
going
much,
on?
man. It's a pleasure to be here with y'all, man. I've heard lots about you. Of course, that's my brother, so, man, I've been waiting to come up here, man. I've been watching the podcast, spreading the podcast, showing love, so.
Great. So, since you watch the format of podcast, what we like to do is start off with the guests, give them a little introduction to the people and whatnot. So we like to tell stories, man. So tell us your story.
Oh, okay.
How'd you get started?
All right, so quite literally, this is an interesting thing. Our parents, our uncles, etc., they've all DJed. My uncle has an extensive record collection. Growing up, we were around lots of music all the time. Too much music. It was like, if we couldn't go to the concert, we watching the concert with the speakers hooked up, system loud, and etc., like we were in the concert. And so it was like a natural progression. Once Kevin went off to school, he learned how to do some beat sequencing, etc., like that. Learned how to put some things together, starting off with software and etc. He brought it back to the house. He dropped it off for us, and he went back to school. By the time he came back from break, we had figured out how to put a snare and a kick where a snare and kick's supposed to be at, how to run hats and etc., how to sample and whatnot. Our uncle gave me my first turntable, belt drive Technics. And he was like, hey man, you can mess this up, do whatever you want to do to it. So I just started buying vinyls. We would go to Pop Jacks, etc., take whatever vinyls we could, we would sample and etc., take kicks, snares, hats, make beats, and etc. And then we kept developing that until I got to college. And then when we got to college, Kevin was like, yo, this is dope parties. And he was like, we need somebody to DJ. So he's like, yo, why don't you DJ? You can mess with the turntable, etc. I was like, cool. So Kevin said I had 2 turntables and an MP3 player. This is before Serato, before all of that. So, and I mean, the MP3 player was like the old school MP3 player. Literally, it had a blue LED backlight. And it literally showed you little songs. You would go through songs and play them, and I would mix those in with the different vinyls we would have. And at that time, and this is something interesting people know about the Columbia area, Scratch and Spin, it would have all of the white labels that would come out of Atlanta. So anything that was fresh, that was hot, that was on the radio, etc. If you wanted white labels, you'd go there and get it. So we would come up here as much as we could, like every 2 weeks or whatnot, and try to get all the white labels, get those things and bring them back down. Shows and stuff.
That's dope. Now explain to me what white labels is.
Alright, so white labels, that is rough against different day and age. So whenever you have a vinyl has an album cover, quote unquote, or a sleeve that it goes in. And that sleeve usually it has an artist's name, picture, etc., photo, and then on the back you have all the credits and stuff. White label, there's nothing on it. It is a blank white sleeve, and on that white sleeve they usually take in black marker and they write the information of whatever the vinyl is on it. And the reason it's done that way is because these are usually vinyls that are produced quickly en masse, because it's stuff that is hot and fresh, stuff that's coming out of the club. And at the time when we were into the white label game, we were talking about stuff, this is weird, it was a strip club music, stuff that was in a strip club in Atlanta that was popping. So they would make something in the studio, they would go press it on vinyl, they'd throw it in white sleeves, and they would send it out throughout the Southeast.
Okay, so essentially that's before it drops.
Before it drops, yeah, that's like before it's on CD, before you get the quote unquote, like Jamaicans understand this. It's the original dub plate. Like you making dub plates, that's what it was. You would get the dub plates from, and that's what you would have to spin. So when you would go to Atlanta back in the day, and you would see somebody that would have something fresh, you would see them using vinyl, and you wonder why they were using vinyl. Okay,
that's what's up, man. That's pretty dope. So Kev did all the beats. He kind of dropped it off to you guys. You guys had a whole powerhouse right there in the house, literally speaking. In entrepreneurship, did the whole. What I'm interested in when you did parties, you blended in the vinyls with the MP3s. Explains how that setup was, because producers, we look at the technicalities and stuff like that.
That was a so what we would do is during the week, of course, we had class, etc. I would get together the songs and etc. that I thought I want to play. Not necessarily have a playlist, just have the tracks, right? And with all the tracks, I'll list and have all the beats per minute. So that I would know for my vinyl as well, beats per minute. And coming from the old school, marking vinyl, etc. So I know my start and stop time. So literally, I would have everything set, so I could just move through a set. Like even nowadays, if I go out and I'm spinning, I'm not creating a playlist.
Wow, that's actually that's one of the because I DJ too, and that's one of the things I try not to do, because when you're in the moment, if you stick to a list, it's gonna flop every time, right?
Every time.
So you gotta be in the moment. You gotta get the groove of the crowd. That's how you read crowds and stuff like that, depending on what direction you go.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if you have a playlist, it's gonna fall somehow, some way, at some point that night. That's dope, man. That's awesome. So, also you're an artist. You're a rap artist as well, or?
No, I'm not a rap artist. So our younger brother is the rap artist. I'm literally seriously, the whole thing. I'm technical man. Like Kevin was saying, I'm technical man. This is why I was so excited that we were discussing what we're discussing today, because literally spend hours on hours. We find stuff to do music with. Like we want to find the newest techniques, the newest tools, ways of recording, processes of things, and even like with live instrumentation, getting live instrumentation and using it properly, especially within hip hop. Like at my house, I got all kinds of percussions. I got rain sticks and shit, man. Shakers and maracas and drums and stuff like that.
Recorded those things. That's dope.
And we make, and like I was saying, especially like we were making our samples and cutting our stuff, so we would have unique sound packs.
Wow. Okay, so you did all those things pretty much before they got popular, as far as making all your.
We never sold them though. That's the problem.
Look, I was about to say,
monetize.
Yeah. If you kept up with it, man, you can make your own sound. Actually, you still can do it today, because
we have the folders. We have all of them. Like we have different folders of our sounds and stuff, but we never put them together in packages.
It takes time to put those things together, though. So yeah. Okay. So let's say we're working on the track. What is your particular process? Like, do you just create sounds and then record it and then pass it on to little brothers to rap on, or how does it go?
That's interesting. All right, I'll tell you. So it depends on the vibe, because normally for me, since I DJ, I'll be listening to vinyls or a track, or literally I can be walking down the street and I hear something.
Okay.
And I get a feel off of it. It's all about the feeling. Once I get the feel, like literally it could be the groove. The groove can be from just hearing the sound. It can be from hearing people talking, with some birds chirping, but whatever the groove I get, I'm gonna go and literally track that groove down. And that partly comes from like crate digging. Like you learn when you crate dig, you literally track the grooves down. So I do it almost anywhere. I can hear something on a commercial. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna find it. I will record it and I'll get it down. I remember the first time. I'll give you an example of a process. So. Back in the day, we used to play these video games. There's a Grand Prix game we used to play, right? On Sega Genesis, right?
Grand Prix.
It's
like a Formula One racing game? Yeah.
And I was like, man, I love this sound. I went, hooked the game up. This is old. Hooked the game up to sound card and played it through.
Yes.
Recorded the 16-bit audio, chopped up the 16-bit audio, put some drums on it, gave it to him, said, hey, fix it, make it sound good.
Okay, so y'all did actually have like a duo type thing that was going on. That's dope. That's dope, man. You got any questions for me? I know you probably know everything about it, man, but what's something that the folks want to hear?
Yeah, so what are you working on now?
Oh, right now, this is cool. This is the cool process, because like my younger brother, I got a little different process, but right now, my birthday comes up, it's April the 1st, Fool's Day birthday, but we're actually going to have my second instrumental album drop. So my second instrumental project that I've worked on, that I'm gonna put out for consumption for people to actually have, will be out in the next 2 weeks. Like literally, I'm finalizing things right now. So I'm letting my younger brother actually finish production on some tracks. I have tracks together that I've already created, so I'll have that coming out soon. And the cool thing about the process, Kevin tell you, it's all the stuff I like to do. So it's hardcore sampling, boom bap drums, some jungle drums in there, and then Rashid, the cool thing about young brother Rashid is he'll bring in, I was like say, the new flavor.
Yeah.
So synthesizers. He caught on what Kevin caught on to, synthesizers and using electronic instruments. he loves that stuff because he also plays guitar, so you can go there and play some electric guitar, and he'll play the keys as well. Put them on the chord, go play on the micro chord, throw some sounds through, right? Even vocode and stuff like that. So he likes messing with that stuff. So I'll set up a groove track. I'll have some simple drums on it, maybe bass line. Some DJing, I'm not gonna lie, I can make a track on my Serato. So like, literally one of the tracks that will be on the album is a track. I literally cue the sample up, chopped it on the fly, put drums on the fly, just running on Serato. Took it, gave it to Rashid after I recorded it for a couple minutes.
I've done that as well. Yeah,
it's the best.
Serato.
It's the best.
And actually, I can use the cues itself. You know,
the
spins and go back and forth. Whatever. I play the drums and the kicks like that. And then if I got a sample, like I like to pull on samples too from like YouTube and stuff like that. I let that run, and I just play the drums. And really, truthfully, honestly, you can pull out 5 or 6 songs by just doing that.
Easy. And that's what I tell him. I just keep it on recording. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, coming up with different ideas. You take which one you like.
Yeah, exactly.
To work with.
All you got to do is record it. That's it, man. That's all you got to do. All right. Any other questions you got for him? Or?
So I guess, well, going back to, a lot of people don't know what Serato is.
Yeah.
You just explain, like I said, of course I do, of course Eric does, but what is, like, for people who, like you said, it's like that old DJ every question. For those who don't know, what is water?
Yeah, I'll explain.
Yeah, so essentially, what is Serato for those who don't know what Serato is?
I'm gonna give y'all a little history lesson too at the same time, because I remember when this stuff first started, there was something called Final Scratch, and that was done by Stan.
I remember that.
Remember that, right?
Yeah.
I remember when that first came out, I was tempted. I was like, all right, what should I buy? What should I get? Should I get this or should I get that? And I was waiting to see if Final Scratch was gonna make it, because Stanton is a real DJ company, right? But then Rain decided to work with these little people in New Zealand to create another box. And that box is Serato, that's the SL1. That's when that first came out. Before that, you know what I was using? This is how, like I'm saying, I've been on this stuff forever. Ableton, I was DJing with Ableton way before people would. I'm talking, you know how the DJs do it, the little techno DJs? I've been doing that for years. Remember the party Party with Purpose? We used to do these fundraising parties, right? Did a whole fundraising party with Ableton. Had everything set up in cue points and stuff. Think about that. That's in 2005.
Because Ableton does loops.
Yeah, it does loops. So like you could set your songs up. I could play what I want to play, pull things in, move it with my vinyl and my MP3, and I have my Ableton going at the same time.
Yeah, that's actually creative as well.
But literally what we're talking about is vinyl emulation. So the ability to have all of your music, being able to control it through vinyl without having to carry the crates. And that was the thing that did it for me, because Kevin used to carry the crates with me.
Yes.
He used to carry the crates, and you remember that back breaking labor moving up and down stairs. And that was the reason why I wanted to get Final Scratch, but I waited and got Serato. Was just because with Serato, the difference was the tightness and the control, the realistic feel, the ability to scratch slow and fast. And be able to get the same feel. So basically what it does is it sends zeros and ones off of the vinyl to your computer to push the MP3 file or the AIF or WAV file on your computer to play. It's almost like it's waiting for the vinyl to read through the numbers before it starts playing the track. So whenever you stop it, it starts playing the track. So literally you get one-to-one control. That's what people don't get. That's all it is. It's like if you have a CD. That's the reason why CDJs are so good, because that process has been perfected, and that then had to be transformed into vinyl, which was hard to get it to move from that analog to the digital.
Science. That's what I can say. Is science.
Yes.
That's dope, man. You said it all. You actually just said it all.
Man, that's all I like that stuff, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm very excited to come here.
I told you it's been pretty good.
Listen to you talk. I had some questions, then he was like, okay, kind of answer that. And, you know, you got anything else?
I guess, man, you didn't even tell nobody the name of your project, dude.
So the name of the project is Beats from the Chuck, because I live in Charleston,
right?
Chucktown. As he's supposed to say, the Charlie O soldiers, they know what this is, like the Chuck. That's what we call it for short.
Right.
And I'm not even quote unquote from Charleston, but our people are literally from Charleston. We got peoples in Charleston, so it's kind of funny. I always tell people I'm there, and it feels good being there because we got family members, etc. But the cool thing about it is the name is that because we've been down there for such a long time, making moves in the culture scene, etc. So I always like to display that whenever we can. Plus, Charleston gets a bad rep when it comes to hip hop and rap in the sense of how do you say, expression, like the variety of expression. Unless you're, especially if you're African American in that community, the amount of expression and free range that you're given is quite stifling unless you're not looking to be there. So the fact that I don't mind being there and I like saying, yeah, I'm from here, I live here and I like the music scene and I like to work with people in the music scene, I like to also give people a different taste or a different flavor. Because there's a couple of guys over there east that I know that I'm gonna throw some beats at and stuff, and they like, yo, I want your beats. And I'm like, why? He's like, because it don't sound like the stuff that I'm normally used to hearing.
That's it's funny you say that, because usually that's how I get my customers too. It doesn't sound like the typical Columbia sound, or it's not the typical. Because I use trap too, but I use samples within my trap beats and stuff like that. I think that makes me different. And then of course I have the extent history of using samples and things of that nature too. So some of these things probably sound different to a new artist or what have you.
So good.
Or I got the ability to manipulate something familiar to something different. You know what I'm saying? So I can identify with that. I think that's because I stand out, because I sound different. I'm not doing the same typical thing over and over and over again.
So it's grinding the bone now. Do that.
It's like, I mean, that's the point of hip hop, is being creative. You know what I'm saying? That's what producers do. Be creative with everything you do.
It's okay to be creative. So it's okay to be creative.
So I take pride if somebody use a familiar sample, like at the Pass the Ops, the dude used the Airborne used the Goody Mob sample.
Oh, real talk.
But it sounded completely different once he put drums and everything. Kind of turned the octave down a little bit on it, and how he had to have some drums to kick. It sounded something completely different.
We were discussing that last night. Yeah.
So it was insane. So I kind of get that. So yeah.